Foreclosure rates are increasing. It's not. Gas prices are getting a little bit more expensive. Mortgage rates are stabilizing at 6.6, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Tuesday, we're talking about Los Gatos Homes for sale, and highs and lows. So let's get moving here. Foreclosure increases. Now, this article is from Adam, and they do a lot of data crunching for the financial markets, and they're really good at real estate. So at the end of last year, we wound up with more foreclosures. Means it's increasing, but not a lot. So here, take a look. It says California had 29,000 foreclosure starts. Texas had 28,000 foreclosure starts. Florida had 27 foreclosure starts. A foreclosure start means that they're late. It's a 30, 60, 90-day notice of default, NOD, and that just means they started. It doesn't mean that they're actually proceeding with the actual process. To do a foreclosure today is not like what it was before. It's a lot more involved. There's a lot more legal stuff that has to happen. There's a lot of going back and forth, and even though it starts, it doesn't mean that it will close or foreclose right away. If you are in notice of default or behind on your payments, they have to do a lot of different things to counsel you and give you options and opportunities to help save your house so you don't get evicted. It's a lot more protected now. And if you watch over my years of doing this, I do a foreclosure count every Thursday, I think. And what we talk about is the number of foreclosures in California and in Santa Clara County. Now, this is nationwide. This number right here, this chart right here is nationwide, and it shows, yes, there was barely zero, basically zero foreclosures happening in 2020 during COVID. There was a moratorium on the books. Now, there's some speculation that all of those houses that should have been foreclosed on are in shadow inventory, meaning they haven't been started. The foreclosure starts haven't actually started. And there's some speculation that in 2024, this number might jump. But still, right now, it's really difficult to buy a house, especially one that is brand new on market and one that has been marketed right. And a lot of people, especially investors and big buying companies, are buying up these houses before they actually get to market. There's a small trickle of houses that come to market, and typically they're the least choicest ones. And how that happens is big, huge holding companies with billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars goes to the bank and says, how many houses do you have for sale right now? I'll take every one of them. And out of those 100 houses or whatever that might happen that they buy, 5% of them, 10% of them are not what they want to fit into their portfolio, and then they sell it off to the market. So you get the dregs of the market. So it's not like what it was in 2008, 2009, 2012. It's not going to be like that. It's a totally different world right now. So just keep that in mind. If you're a first-time buyer, think about buying a standard house, and we have strategies to help you get into your first house. Right? It's not going to be your best house. It's not going to be the brand new house on market, but we do have strategies to save you money and to get you into a house. Okay, mortgage rates 6.69. Gas, the lowest is in Cupertino at Rotten Robbie's, I believe. Trader Joe's. What? No, that's not it. Rotten Robbie in Los Gatos Boulevard. Right as you get off the thing, there's Rotten Robbie, I think. Yeah, right there. There's a nice little park I go walking right by it. But that's the lowest I saw today, 363. This house right here we're going to go through every day we're going to go through some nice areas and look at houses for sale. And this one happens to be the most expensive house available in Los Gatos. Now, this one for 32 million is actually a lodge, and it's miscategorized. It should be in commercial, but I don't know why it's there. It just is. So Glen Una Drive. It's not my listing. I wish it was. This is beautiful. I would live in a house like this. This is beautifully managed, and it's on a backward slope. So there's actually 3 stories on it, and it's really nicely done. I just wish they didn't take so many pictures of the front there, right there. I want to get inside and show you this house. It's just beautiful. Just look at the floor work on this. Just love it. Everything about this house is just beautiful, immaculate, well trimmed out, completely done nice. It's worth what they're asking considering the market. The only thing I don't like is this fireplace. Let me open this up so you can see it. I'm not a fan of that. That just looks weird. Yeah, just not smart. That one's okay. Still not a big fan of that. Just like random. I don't know why they did that. This is kind of a cool little feature right here. These are air conditioning. These blow down cool air on a hot summer day. So you have air conditioning on the outside. That's pretty cool. The other thing is you do have a view, but you don't have a view. So, and the problem is it's so far out. You're actually up in the mountains a little bit. Not in the foresty, but you're still pretty far out. Like that's Saratoga and that's Los Gatos. So you're halfway in between, and you're still up there in the mountains, up in the hill a little bit. So there you go. That's your Los Gatos house of the week. List price to sales price. Highest price sold this week was again, well, in Los Altos, and it was sold because of the property. It was 5 acres. And we'll see when we go through these pictures, you'll see that this ranch, this little ranch house had 5 acres. That's what people did back then. They just kind of lived their life, and then when they died off, they sold it. But what you see, if you look carefully, let me see if I can bring this out for you. Right over here, you see that there's a big old house right there, and there's a big house over there. And as you go through, you'll see that there's big behemoth houses all over next to this. There's a couple properties that are coming up for sale, right? They're just sitting there. And what people do is they buy the property and they just tear it down and put their mansion on it, and then sell it for $32 million. But this is Los Altos, so you'll see that. And the lowest list sold price in Santa Clara County was in Gilroy, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square foot, built in 1962. Originally enlisted at $780, sold for $750, and it's just because they really didn't take care of this house. I mean, the front, it looks okay, but it's just basic. I wouldn't say it's maintenance deferred. It's just nothing to it. You really need to get a hire professional photography. This is ridiculous how you see these people just doing kind of iPhone photography. You can't really sell a house that way. And that's probably why it was misrepresented. But there you go. This one's right down the street from me. As a matter of fact, I live over by this park right here. This park right here. So really close. This is the highest list price to sales price ratio. It's sold for almost 30% over list price. The true option is that it was worth 1.25 to 1.35, and they got what they were looking for, right? So good for them. Nothing wrong with that at all. pictures out here for you. Okay, so it's a nice house, very nicely done inside. It's almost as though they flipped it though, because they didn't do anything on the outside. So they just sold it. I would say this is more of an as is, not a flip. I would say that you can tell because when we get into the kitchen, you'll see there's stainless steel and white appliances, so it's mismatched. So these probably didn't work. They just tore it out and put new ones in. And it looks like they may have redone the windows recently, but I don't know. So nicely staged. The outside, they didn't do anything to. And guys, this is an option, right? You sell your house as is. We have three options, and I don't care however you want to do it. I can guide you through the entire process, start to finish, with three options, and I don't care either way, right? If you have repairs you want to do, I'll take care of that for you. If you want completely turnkey, I can take care of that. But right now, the option is to not spend $150,000 and put it on market and sell it. Yeah, you're not going to sell it for 1.52, but then, from 1.3 to 1.5, you have 200,000. You have $100,000 you're sinking into the house, and then you have to wait, and you have to wait 2-3 months to get it all fixed up, and then you have to deal with dust and contractors and all that stuff. Not that that's a bad thing, because I do it all the time, but it's your option. If you don't want to deal with it, you just want to get it on market, you can do minor repairs, get it ready like that, or we can just sell it as is. Completely up to you how you want to do it. And then this one right here, Tantau, $3.28 million, took 43 days to sell. Here's the thing. Everything about this is wrong, other than there's only one house or only one picture to show. So I can't really show it to you, other than it's in Cupertino. So you have Cupertino schools, right? Like right there is, I want to say that's Cupertino High. Yeah. I'm a band geek dad, so I go to all my kids' competitions and band things or whatever. And I was there last year. We were actually eating. Yeah, anyway. So Tantau is a filter street, right? It's not a busy street like Stevens Creek. Tantau is a filter street, just like Heaton Moore was. It filters cars to the inner neighborhood, but the way they developed it back in the day is that they had houses facing that. Nowadays, they actually have houses facing inward, so you would go in and then come back into your house right here. So it's a little bit different these days, mostly for privacy and for resale ability. So they do take into consideration that. So there you go, guys. Today we talked about foreclosures going up, but they're really not. So don't listen to all the hype. Gas going up a little bit, mortgage rates stabilizing about 6.6. Today, Los Gatos house for sale, Los Gatos house of the week, and then the highs and lows of Santa Clara County. I'm Vito with Abitano. Thanks for watching. We'll see you out there.